Hello, this is the introduction video for Paradox, Mathematics of Nonsense. My name is Ryan Card. I'm a senior lecturer here at University of Washington, Tacoma. You could just call me Ryan. So Paradox is a class. It's a core class that's different from a traditional mathematics course. I should say that I know this course is filed under Introduction to Science, but a lot of the scientific foundation is built on mathematics, and this is going to be a mathematics course. Although it's probably nothing like any other mathematics course you've taken. There's no prerequisite, and then there's no mathematics class that requires this content. So we don't have a long list of theorems and formulas you have to learn. That's packed in this course. What we'll do is I cherry-picked lots of fun little nuggets of mathematics that I think is interesting to share. I think it'll be a really fun course. There's going to be 5 units. We're going to start with logic, then we'll hit probability paradoxes, and then we'll hit statistics paradox, then visual paradox, and paradoxes on infinity and infinitesimal things. For today, what we'll do is we'll go through the course syllabus and kind of go over expectations on how this online thing is going to go. So here we go. Our textbook is this, Paradox in Mathematics. We'll go over probably about half of the paradoxes in there, but not in the order that's presented in the book. So you'll need it for reading assignments, but there'll be paradoxes outside of this textbook as well. Another textbook that's also crucial is called Illustrated Book of Bad Arguments. Let me see if I can share that. Here we go. So here's what the textbook looks like. It's beautifully illustrated. So basically what the book has is a whole bunch of logical fallacies. These are types of arguments that people make, but it doesn't logically follow what they're saying. So each logical fallacy is in a 2-page spread. Here's the name of the logical fallacy and kind of explanation of how that goes. And an example of that logical fallacy is illustrated and shown on the right side. So you'll be assigned to read a couple of these logical fallacies per week and answer discussion questions about it. So you'll definitely need this textbook as well. It's part of the homework. Okay, so let's jump to our course website on Canvas. Here we go. So once you get to this, log on to the Canvas website for our course. Here's what you see. Oh wait. Yeah, here's what we see. Announcements is where I will post links to lecture videos on Wednesdays and Fridays each week. So look there for new content. If you want to know what's happening and what's going to happen in the next week or so, you can click on weekly summaries. Syllabus I will get to in a minute. If you want to check on what's been assigned and when is the quiz that's coming up, you can click on assignments to see what's been assigned. There's also a course discussion board. So part of your homework is to read those logical fallacies and answer discussion questions about it. So you'll be hitting there weekly, answering those questions. Also, uh, since we're not in a classroom meeting, I think it's important to keep the learning community to be as close as possible um, online. So I hope the Canvas discussion board is somewhere you choose to use often. You can post homework questions or worksheet questions or uh, anything anything you like. There's no restriction for me on my end uh, what you can post on there, as long as it's appropriate. You can post like answers, solutions to homework problems, and ask for feedback, or you could basically spoil the answers if you want. If I see you being helpful on discussion board, I do tend to award extra credit points. So uh, please use them. Another thing I want you to be able to use is Zoom meeting app. So if you click on the Zoom link here, that will take you to your own Zoom Pro account. As a University of Washington student, you already have access to a Zoom Pro account. So if you click there and enter your UW-Net ID and your password, you could set up your account there, and that's what you'll use to visit my like drop-in hours where you can ask questions about worksheets or homework. Or I'm hoping that you'll get to learn your classmates enough so that maybe you can host your own study sessions where you can kind of post, hey, I'm gonna be on like a Zoom study room in 30 minutes, come join me. We're gonna be working on worksheet 2.3, something like that. If I see you doing that, I think I'll also award extra credit points for hosting study sessions. Discord is like a chatting app. This Canvas does actually have a chat function as well, but I haven't had success in my class to use the Canvas chatting app. And what I learned from students is that they use Discord instead. So I don't know if you've used Discord before, but I'd like you to try to use it. If you click here, this is an invite to the Discord server that I've set up for this course, like Paradox server, where you can ask questions, or basically the same thing that you could be doing with a discussion board, but much quicker, right? So this would be the quickest way to get response from me or other classmates. You do not have to install any app to get going with the Discord. You could if you want to, but there's a web interface. So if you get there and just kind of have a tab open and you can post things or reply to things, I think it works pretty well. And I've had success with students using this. So, forced to use it, but it's probably the quickest way to get response. So try it out. You can check your grades here, and anything I post for the class, any files, will be accessible from here. Okay, let's jump into the syllabus. Okay. All right. So here are my Zoom drop-in hours. So what you could do is you could just kind of click on, this is my personal meeting room in Zoom. So on these times from 11 to noon on Monday and 1:30 to 2:30 on Thursdays, if you click there, or click there to go to my Zoom meeting room. You can ask me questions if you like. For lecture, I will be posting lecture videos on Wednesdays and Fridays. And this class was originally designed from ground up as group activities and worksheets class. That's obviously very difficult to do in an online environment. So how the lectures are going to run is I will do some lecturing maybe sometimes, but mostly I'll be basically your partner and walking through the worksheet with you. So I'll talk through the worksheets, and then I'll probably prompt you to pause the worksheet and work on some parts. Then you can unpause and we'll go to the next section and so on. So um, I do have to convert the worksheet, so it works that way. So that's how we're gonna do lectures. It's when you open videos, you'll be opening a worksheet along with it, and by the end, you have filled out your worksheet, and you'll submit that, and that's gonna be your participation credit for that lecture. So I've converted the worksheets into Word documents. So it used to be PDF, but that's difficult to work with on a computer. So I've rewritten them so that it's worksheet. So if you have a tablet, you could just kind of draw directly on them if you like and save it as a PDF. You could always use Google Docs. You could upload it there and edit on the web interface. Or if you have other word processing software like Word or anything else, you could use that as well. I do kind of want you to export it as a PDF though, because if you open documents with different word processors and different versions of Word, for example, sometimes it destroys the pictures and sometimes it's not possible for me to read your file. So to ensure that I could actually read your submission, I do want you to submit it as a PDF. If you do have a printer, you might find it easier to work on like a printed out sheet. So you could do that. But if you do that, I can't accept as a submission a whole bunch of photos that's out of order and rotated in the wrong way in a dark room. So what I want you to do is if you do work on a physical copy, use Cam Scanner, or I think what I personally use is Tiny Scanner. It's a free app on your phone. It's available for iPhone or any Android or any phone. You can take pictures and it'll turn it into a nicely cropped and like light balanced PDF. So you can submit it and it's easy for me to read. So please do that if you are gonna work on it on a physical copy. Okay. I already talked about the textbooks. You could, they're both very cheap. They're like $10 each. You could get it from either bookstore or you could get it from Amazon. Either way is fine. But if you don't have it already, please order them so you'll have it when you need it, when the first homework is due. Yeah. And this is the link to the invite link for the Discord server that I was talking about. You could click on it and it'll ask you for like a login name if you already have an account, or you could just make one up, and then you'll be invited to the Paradox server. This is the grading breakdown. Compared to a regular class, because we're or like an online course. I've put less emphasis on the quiz and the final grade and more emphasis on participation and homework grade. So um, that's what I got to say about that. You might notice that there's going to be a class project. Um, this is going to be um, a, a creative way to express what you learned about the paradox that you've been assigned. So I'll talk more about that in week 4 or so. And you have a plenty of time to do it. It's going to be a research project. You'll learn about a paradox, and you'll come up with a product that explains that paradox to other classmates. Okay. There are going to be 3 quizzes throughout the quarter. So there's going to be, after a couple of weeks, when we cover all the logic unit, there's going to be a quiz based on the logic unit. And then there's going to be a quiz on the probability unit. And then another quiz on like statistics and graph theory unit. And at the very end, there's actually 2 more units, but they're very short units, like a visual unit and the infinity paradox unit. Those stuff will be part of the final exam. And final exam is kind of a slightly longer version of a quiz. It'll cover all the 5 units, but maybe a little bit more emphasis on the last 2 units that you haven't been quizzed on. So that's going to be the final in week 11. All right, so let's see, what haven't I said? So participation is basically worksheets. I should note that these might be a little bit harder to do on your own because these were originally designed to be a group worksheet. So please use the Discord or discussion board or drop-in hours as much as possible. And you can get help from me too, right? You can come into drop-in hours, or you could host your own study sessions as well. Because I think some of these will be fun to do with other people. If you're stuck in a house with other family members or roommates, I encourage you to go through these worksheets with other people as well. I think it'll be a lot more fun, and they might find it interesting too. But you'll have a week to do them and submit it. Right? So for each lecture session. There'll be a separate homework assignment that's going to be due each week. And these will be kind of modified versions of the worksheet questions and things from lecture. So those will be due on Wednesdays. So it'll be homework sets will be assigned on Wednesdays and will be due Wednesday in the following week. That will be the flow of the homework. Okay. And I already talked about the quizzes. There'll be 3 quizzes throughout the quarter. Tentatively, it's planned to be on week 4, 6, and 8, and then final on week 11. There's going to be a project that you'll be assigned on week 4, and you'll have plenty of time to do it, and we'll scaffold through the project. And then final exam is 20% of your grade. All right. So this is the planned topics that we're going to cover. You can look at it carefully later. Okay, so if this is not your first quarter, you probably have seen a lot of service statements and policies from University of Washington, Tacoma. Maybe you've seen it at the end of other people's syllabi. But if you click through there, um, you'll get all the different services that's available to you as a UW Tacoma student. And some of these have changed recently because of all the shutdowns. So um, I do encourage you to read it if you have not read it before. But even if you have read it before, there's a couple new statements. So let me point those out. One is about student conduct in remote learning contexts. Uh, so it has some to do with like intellectual properties of these lecture videos that I'll be putting out. I don't really have any problem with you sharing my videos as long as maybe I have two expectations about it. One, uh, don't try to make money off of my videos. And number two, give me credit if you're sharing, right? I do intend to put those collection of these videos on a YouTube later on. So I really don't have any issues with you sharing. If you think it's interesting enough to share, please do. There's also a statement about online bullying and some privacy issues. So like you should not be recording other students without their permission. There are some privacy laws for students, right, called the FERPA laws. And if there are any religious accommodation that needs to be made, if there are some restrictions of what you could do on a certain day or so, please let me know as soon as possible and I'll try to accommodate you as best to my ability. I don't think this will be an issue here. Okay, so that is pretty much the course syllabus. I want to task you with three things. Let's see if I can share this. All right, so things to do. Number one, if you have not used yet, I want you to try out Zoom Pro. So go to this website, or you can just click on the link at the front of the Canvas page and make sure to claim your Pro account. You just use your UW ID. That's the same thing as your UW email address. Log in. You should probably install a client. There's a web interface as well. So you don't technically have to install anything, but it does not work as well. And try to see if you can run it, right? So try to start a meeting by yourself. Test your audio, like your speaker, and see if your laptop or has a microphone setting so you could get the audio. And see if your laptop has a video as well. So try to see if you can run it and see if it works. So if you come to my office hour or the drop-in hours, or if you have a study session, you could actually use it. Right? So this is a tool that you'll be expected to use in your online courses. So try it out. And once you get into the meeting and audio and video works fine, try sharing a window, maybe with some window with Google Docs open, or you could actually share what's called a whiteboard, and you can kind of write on it with your finger, or if you have a touch screen, or use mouse to draw stuff. Drawing with mouse is really hard, but if you're lucky enough to have a touch screen, maybe you can draw stuff, which will be useful. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to try. There's two more. Okay, I want you to try to log into the Discord server that I've set up for you. So just click on the invite, the link at the front of the Canvas page, and just log in, say who you are and what you intend to measure in, just so I know that you were there. If you don't want to share that, it's fine. Just say hi, and then you can just leave. But I do want you to know how easy it is to get onto Discord. So try that. And it'll be the quickest way to get answers. So I think it will be a useful tool. Okay. And one last thing that I want you to be able to use is Canvas discussion board. So go to Canvas page and click on discussions, and there should already be a post there. What movies have you seen lately? So click on that and post something there. So if you've seen a movie recently that you liked or hated, just talk about it. And then once you post, you'll be able to see the posts by other students as well. So you can browse other posts and you can click like if you agree with the assessment of the movie, or maybe if you want to talk about it, you can respond, whatever. Right? I just want you to be able to use these tools because we'll be using it every week. That's it. That's all for today. So I will see you Wednesday when we actually start content for the course. Until then, stay healthy.